I suppose we all like to look in the mirror and see a Hollywood grin gleaming straight back at us. But the reality is that getting your teeth whitened professionally can cost a small fortune. That's where home teeth whitening kits can come in. But unfortunately, they leave you open to the fakers. And the smile they leave you with might not last that long. Teeth whitening is big business. Most dentists now offer a teeth whitening service, and dedicated teeth whitening companies have sprung up across the country, committed to giving Britain slightly pearlier whites. First patients' teeth are examined, then a mould taken. Specially fitted mouth guards are then created. Into these moulds, the dentist puts a gel containing hydrogen peroxide, a chemical that works to whiten the teeth. After a series of treatments, patients can have dramatically whiter teeth. However, alongside the growth in professional services, sites have appeared online offering cheap, do-it-yourself bleaching kits. Whilst treatments run by qualified dentists can cost £500, website Smile Brighter Marketing offered kits from as little as £5.99, but claimed to give you the perfect smile. Essex Training Standards Officer Sarah Eichelbosch decided to investigate and made a test purchase. The kit consisted of syringes containing bleaching chemicals and a mouthguard. Users could self-administer at home. It seemed simple.
You fill the tray up with the product and then put it into your mouth and bite down on it, and over a period of time the chemicals that were in the product would work to actively whiten your teeth.
It also seemed safe. The teeth whitening kits claimed to abide by international law.
Both the website and the product itself were marked with the claim that the product had been EU approved, so it was all over the website. So he was creating the impression that the product was somehow safe and legal.
But teeth whitening products are governed by strict safety guidelines under cosmetic regulations. Sarah wanted to make sure the claims on the product were real and that it fell within legal limits. So samples were sent to Kent Scientific Services. Now, EU law dictates that only 0.1% of the chemical hydrogen peroxide is allowed in DIY teeth whitening products. Paulette Smith carried out an experiment to test the level of the chemical in the kits. She adds various other chemicals to change the gel into a form that she can then analyse.
The amount of this liquid it takes to turn this solution colourless will then tell us how much hydrogen peroxide was in the original teeth whitening gel.
After some quick follow-up calculations, the results are in.
From the analysis we've just carried out, we've calculated that there is 10.3% hydrogen peroxide in the tooth whitening gel.
And that's a whopping 103 times the legal limit. It means the product's claims about being EU tested must be fake. Remember, under EU law, it can only be 0.1%.
To find a level of hydrogen peroxide in something that you'd put in your mouth that was so far over the legal limit is quite shocking.
It also means the product is dangerous.
Using this type of tooth whitening product can lead to sensitivity of the teeth and gums, damage to the tooth enamel, and even burns in the mouth.
So what does the industry make of this product? Dr. Wyman Chan is teeth whitener to the stars.
I'm shocked such a high concentration can be sold over the internet in the UK. Hydrogen peroxide is a toxic chemical if it's not used properly or formulated properly. That means it can cause damage to your soft tissues and also can cause damage to the enamel. Open slightly wider now, please. Lots of products sold over the internet especially, they're usually acidic. They will take a layer of enamel away every time you put it on your teeth. By doing so, and that will take a bit of gums away as well. Then you end up with receding gums, and it's quite dangerous, in fact.
Wyman has received patients whose teeth have actually been made less white due to using cheap online whitening kits.
The alarming thing is that the patient actually complained that the teeth even look darker, because when the glaze is gone, your enamel becomes rough and it picks up stains more readily. This can be very painful. A glass of cold water, a glass of hot tea, give you a lot of pain. Just relax.
Dr. Chan's also concerned that cheap online teeth whitening mouth guards are not specially moulded to the patient's mouth, and that allows the illegal chemicals to leak out and corrode the gums. Back at Essex Trading Standards, Sarah Eichelbosch was astounded by the test results for Smile Brighter Marketing's products.
I was really shocked to receive the results and really, in my mind, confirmed the fact that this was an important product safety issue and that we really did need to address it.
Sarah mobilised her team and raided the registered address of the business. The man behind it was Mr Barrington-Thorpe.
He directed us to a shed in the rear garden, and it was quite a large shed, absolutely full of product.
Piles of syringes containing the product and boxes plastered with the fake safety claims were found and confiscated. Thorpe was cautioned, but within weeks he was back at it.
Because we'd done the first test purchase, we were on his email list, so he then emailed out to everybody saying, I've had to change my website.
Now trading as Brighter Smile, Armstrong-Thorpe was still making fake claims that the product was EU approved. Sarah was staggered.
A bit of barefaced cheek, really, that, you know, one day you've issued him with a caution and the next minute he's saying, oh, here's how to get more product from me.
The syringes, now marked with Brighter Smile, were tested again, and again they failed. Sarah raided Armstrong-Thorpe for a second time.
There were syringes strewn across the coffee table, jiffy bags in a box waiting to be stuffed. There were postage labels. There were extracts from orders that were on the table. One of the bedrooms was being used as a study. The study was absolutely chock-a-block with syringes.
Armstrong-Thorpe claimed the products all belonged to a friend of his and he was just storing them as a favour. Unfortunately for him, it was an obvious clue that this just wasn't true.
The telephone number that was marked on the syringes was a mobile telephone number, and when we came into his property that morning, we'd rung that number and we'd asked him where his phone was, and he'd pointed to the telephone that was ringing.
In reality, the faker had reinvested heavily in the dangerous product.
During the raid on his property for a second time, we seized over 3,700 syringes with a retail value of over £21,000.
Amazingly, within days, Armstrong-Thorpe had put up a third website, Smile Brighter Now. Another raid followed. Over 3 operations, Sarah seized colossal quantities of the dangerous teeth bleacher from the Essex fraudster.
This is just a small selection of product from the large quantity that we seized across the 3 warrants that we undertook at Mr Thorpe's properties. We've got a box of syringes here, but this is just one of 5 that we actually seized on the day.
No longer smiling brightly, Armstrong-Thorpe was jailed at Chelmsford Crown Court for 16 months for selling products with fake safety claims and for repeatedly breaching the Cosmetic Product Regulations Act 2008. After a 3-year investigation, Sarah Eichelbosch was delighted with the result.
He said during the interview that he thought that trading standards were toothless tigers, and that if he ignored us we would simply go away, but he realised now that that was not the case.
Paulette Smith has since tested numerous other low-cost DIY teeth bleaching kits, all available on the web. Alarmingly, the vast majority contain dangerous and illegal quantities of hydrogen peroxide.